Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Thursday Thoughts with Ashley Hannah Murphy and Angelo Datseris, your local real estate agent here in the Charlotte metro area. And Angelo Datseris is your mortgage expert, helping you serve in multiple states. And we are here answering your questions. And we have a lot to talk about today. We had a little hiatus from Thanksgiving holiday. Now we're rolling right into Christmas. Hey
Hello,
there.
hello, Ashley. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. It's been a minute, but getting ready here for the holidays.
I
And
like
I
it.
know that you have your work cut out for you when it comes to ChristmasTown USA.
Yes, we are ready.
So yeah, so how's everything else been going?
It's good. It's good. I feel like I don't even remember the month of November. Like, did that month even happen? I'm
I
not
don't,
sure.
I don't think it happened.
I don't even. Um, and now we're just like into the holiday craziness, and I'm like, I'll sleep next month.
Right, right. After the first of the year, right?
Right.
That's fine. Next month or yeah, for sure.
But
Um, let's. Do you have any pertinent things you want to chit chat about?
no, let's go. You
No.
go.
So this is a fantastic question that a professional like yourself should probably. I should probably ask you this because I gotten asked that. I'm like, I don't know. You should probably talk to a real estate professional. Should you put your house on the market at Christmas time?
That depends.
Okay.
So I always tell my clients if they want to go on the market right now, I recommend it be because they need to go on the market. What does that mean? They need to move, right? They can't really wait to move. Um, and honestly, I think it's a great time because the buyers this time of year are more serious,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Um, the inventory is usually lower, so you have less competition. Just seasonally, people don't want to show their homes during the holidays, which is the same thing I'm going to say to my seller. Listen, it's going to be a disruptor, right? And your home has to be looking top notch because that's the market we're in today. Like this isn't 2 years ago where you could just you know, have an unmade bed or it not be looking really decluttered and everything, and we can get by. So yes, I do think it's a good market because if there is less competition, because you have the pool of more serious buyers. I do think it could be more challenging if because you're having to navigate showings around the holiday time, which can be a little bit of a dance if you.
Yeah, yeah, right. Good point. The buyers are more serious because maybe they want to get in right before Christmas, or they want to get in right before New Year's. So that kind of potentially could speed up timelines for some people. Good point.
I
Good
do
point.
feel like this time of year it's like the the Christmas break and the summer break. If you're a family and you're making a big move, like and you're like where you have to change school districts or things like that, though it could be a good time because you're in those little breaks,
Right.
right? Your kids can go into the next semester like starting a fresh semester, not necessarily in the middle of a semester, which can be more of a challenge. So I do like I said, I think there is an uptick a little bit, but the buyers are serious. Like they've
Yeah.
been right since September. Like, okay, we're gonna do this in August, or we're gonna do this in December, and we're gonna time it just so. But
Nice.
it depends on your situation. If you're just if you just want to like see how the market is, I don't really recommend you go on the market.
Right.
And
uh,
that's just my
yeah,
opinion.
I got you. Good stuff. Yeah, I had somebody ask me that question. And I was like, you know what? I don't really know the answer to that because that's not what I do. So let me
Yeah,
ask a professional.
yeah. Well, what about rates? Because I feel like we're kind of, what do you like, what's going on? Because I feel like,
We are definitely seeing a little downward trend in rates. I've seen it all over the news, all over TikTok and Instagram. The feds are going to cut their rates 6 times in
yeah,
2024 and blah, blah, blah. I
uh,
mean,
where's that
you
coming?
know, they're
And
just,
that's not guaranteed.
that's not guaranteed. No, it's not guaranteed. Nobody really knows. I mean, I think the feds, at the last FOMC meeting, they just mentioned that there could be some potential cuts next year. If they put by, I didn't actually listen to the meeting, but from what I've gathered from people that have listened to the meeting, they talked about to have some cuts next year. So, we'll see. We'll see if that actually holds true. And if it does, it's going to be, I mean, the first, and it's just misconception, right? The first time the media says, if there's a headline that they do cut the rates 0.25% or 0.5%, as soon as the headline goes out on the news, you're going to be getting called. I'm
Oh,
going to be getting called. It's
oh,
just like, all right, let's open up those phone lines, peeps.
I know. And like, that's what I'm like, I'm trying to have some conversations with buyers that I have right now. And I'm like, you know, we have been able to be a little bit more leisurely in our searching. And I think that there's some negotiation strategies that we can employ right now. If rates continue this downward trend,
Yeah.
more people are going to enter the buyer pool again. And our inventory is still extremely low. So it's going to make it really competitive, and those list prices that you see today are going to be jacked up.
Yeah.
Everything's going to go up, right? You're going to have to be competitive. You're going to have to offer, a healthy amount of diligence here in North Carolina. You're going to have to be prepared to accept a home that maybe has some outstanding repair items or things like that. So I just am like, let's be smart, and I just want to make sure that you understand the expectations. Now, I have a real hard time with like, and I've seen a lot of agents do this, and okay, I guess it could be like a way to help buyers get off the fence, but like where they're posting like we just said, the Fed's going to lower rates 6 times next year. Like, A, that's not for sure. B, I feel like that's like, I don't know, that's misleading.
It's
Right?
clickbait. They want views, they want follows, they want, it's they're just trying to stir it up, just to keep their page alive. I mean, nothing is guaranteed, right? I mean, they can say whatever they want to say, or if they can forecast or that. I mean, they forecasted rates weren't going to jump like they forecast rates were going to go down in May of this year. Well, what did they do? They did the exact opposite. So nobody
Right.
really knows what's going
Right.
on, right?
Right.
But I mean, the 10-year Treasury is down to 4.1172. I mean, it was up to as much as 5.5, close to 5.5, the 10-year T. So that's come down quite a bit, which has helped rates. So I mean, I think at the peak, I'm just kind of talking generics, 20% down, good credit. We were eight and an eighth for a 30-year fixed. So we were
Yeah.
up there, right? And so now they've trickled back down. And usually when you have about a 3 to 4 day, I guess, market rally, in the bond market rally, it usually kind of that's a good sign that they're going to continue to do so, and that's happened. And come down, yeah. And so there's, I priced out a USDA loan this morning, 6.399. A VAs are, up to like 6 and a 5.9, 6. So we're in the sixes again, right? Conventional, you're still in the right in the low sevens, high sixes, right? So they're definitely off the eights of what they were. So it's coming down. It's coming down. And see what lenders are trying to do right now, because lenders knew that this was going to happen, that
Right.
rates are going to come down. And so there's always a fear of EPOs or early payoffs. So what they don't want to do, and so they basically capped when the rates were getting up into the 7s and 8s, they basically capped how high they would go on their rate sheets, because they know that those mortgages aren't going to perform. They know they're going to get refied out. So there was costs. So they'd kind of like, it cost like, $3,000 at a 7.5 or $4,000 at a 7.5, because they didn't want to go up to like the 8 and 8.1 or whatever. If you had bad credit, they would, it's so much to it, but just to kind of give you some sort of understanding of how that works is, they know that these loans are going to be sold, they're going to be refied. And so the bondholders, they don't have much faith in the system where they know it's going to be sold, they're going to be refied. And so right now I'm seeing in the market different, like lower interest rates. Like I had one, it was trying to think of the scenario. It was an investment property, 25% down, and it was 7.5% was like the best rate, right? But it was when it comes to costs. I'm trying to make this make sense without actually seeing it on paper. When it comes to costs, like we have a rate sheet. We have like, let's say 6.5 to 8.5. When you see those different costs, some have a cost and some have a credit, and then there's a par rate, like a middle rate. 7.5 was like no cost, but then 8 was a cost. And so we're seeing, because of the way the market is right now with these bondholders and these coupons, the lower rates the coupons are better for those lower rates, because they don't want to put people in 8s, because they know they're not going to perform. They want to put people in these lower rates because they're going to get refied out when these rates do come down. And then all these lenders have, they're scared, because if you have millions and billions of mortgages getting refinanced, if they haven't had that for 6 months or 4 months or 8 months, it doesn't bode well in the secondary market for bondholders. So it's like a balancing act. They have to understand what could happen in the future. If rates do drop pretty fast, people are going to be refining like crazy, right? So, and it's not good for secondary markets for people to refi out of brand new loans that they just got in, because nobody makes any money. It deteriorates the secondary market. And so it's a balancing act.
You mean, so like okay, let's speak. Say that I bought a house last month. My rate is 7.5. Okay. What do you recommend to those people who bought in November with a 7.5 rate? Are you gonna like if it's like a client that we closed on, do you reach out to people? Does it how do you know what to do? How do you know when to refi? How do you know when it's a good idea? When are you not going to lose money? Like what's the rule of thumb?
That's a fantastic question. And to answer that is, you theoretically would like the interest rate to come down at least 1 percentage point. Okay, theoretically. Now, there's other reasons that you could potentially refi. If for some reason, I don't want to get into the whole mortgage insurance and the LTVs. I don't want it to get too, I don't want to get too in the weeds here, but you would like to be able to recoup your refi costs within 6 to 12 months of how much it costs to refi with, like, so let's say if it costs $2,500 and, if you save $200 a month, for 12 months, yeah. And like, you want to be able to recoup those closing costs, whatever the hard costs are, like just, the escrows is a different story, right? We're just throw the escrows out, tax and insurance. The actual hard costs, which is the attorney fees, appraisal, stuff like that. If you can recoup what it costs to refi within 6 to 12 months, that's a good deal.
So say it costs $2,500 and you're saving $200 a month.
Yes.
Then it's a good idea.
That would be a good idea. I don't have the calculator here, but yeah, two times 10 is 2,000. or 200 times 10 to 2,000 by twice that 2,400. Yes, that would be ideal. That'd be
This is
ideal because
that's we're doing quick and dirty math,
it's
right?
quick dirty math, right?
And okay, so but I just bought last month. Does that matter?
Oh yes, I mean if you bought last month, you would. I mean it'd have to drop a lot for it to. Yeah, I mean a
Like
half a.
you're gonna
Yeah,
wait if you bought last month, most likely. I mean, you're gonna want to wait at least 6 months
easy. Yes, yes,
before you're even having a discussion.
correct.
I think that's an important thing to keep in mind because, the people that did buy the last couple months, right? I mean, I think like, September, October, November folks, like they might see these headlines and think, oh, wow, like it went down. Let me figure it out, to refi.
To see it for refi. Yeah, I mean, it probably hasn't gone like if there's a half a point drop or a 1% drop in a month or two times, there's something's going on in the market, right? that's craziness, right? For it to go down that much to make you want to refi in a month or two.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I don't have never experienced that per se. I've never said never in this business.
Yeah.
Things happen, but
I just want people to like realize when it's a good, like what it means to refi, what it means that rates are going down, right? If you already are in a loan, right? And you've maybe bought in the last year or so. And how when it's a good idea. Like for you, I feel like you do a really good job of like looking at your clients and like keeping up with like what's going on in the market. And when it makes sense, I feel like you're pretty proactive at helping,
yeah, we're always, we try to have our, our finger on the pulse when it comes to rates. And, we have tools that we have like HomeBot, which follows and, kind of keeps you informed of like average rates of what some, programs are. And it'll give you a green light or a red light if you should refi, you should not refi. So,
I love
yeah. Well, there's a new app for that.
yeah.
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 Yeah, it's pretty slick. Here.
I feel
Yeah, you need to download it. It's pretty slick.
okay. It's HomeBot, for those of you who don't know, we'll make sure to include a link. You plug in your
address.
Yep, and your mortgage information, right?
It'll automatically pull it in, but it'll ask you if you plug in your address, when you purchased the property. And I think it may have some mortgage information on like what your interest rate is, what the loan amount is. And then it will also pull public data if you don't do that. And it'll give you, basically set you up on a HomeBot digest every month and send to you like clockwork.
It tells you what you're worth, what other homes in the area are worth. Like, is your market cool?
Hot. Yep.
Buyer.
Yeah.
So, I think I've looked at a lot of programs and I feel like that HomeBot is the most comprehensive and
it is.
And right. And it's connected. We can make it so it's connected to both Angelo and I, or like if you don't like when you want us to go pound sand, like obviously like it's good for that. I think it makes it really easy to understand as far as like your home financial picture in the market, a snapshot in time.
Yeah. No, it's a good tool. I love it. I'm a big fan of it. And when I came up with that app and I was like, yeah, it's just on the palm of your hand. You can just take it with you. You love it.
Right now?
I'm drinking coffee right now.
Oh, man. I drink coffee this late. Your girl wouldn't be sleeping.
It's just for taste for me. It's just for taste. Well, yeah. So what do you got planned for the holidays? You guys staying in town?
Yes, we will be here. We will be in ChristmasTown USA.
I wanted to ask you about that. Yeah. So when you purchase the property in McAdenville,
yes,
you have to, I'm assuming you have to sign something at closing that says that you are going to abide by the ChristmasTown USA and do the lights and all of that? No, you don't?
No, And
No shit. Really? I figured you would have to live there.
so, okay, so here's the thing. It could be a surprise then, right? For some people who don't use me as a real estate agent. I really try to paint a picture of what to expect when you're buying a home in McCannville and what that looks like in December. Okay. We do have the bylaws and covenants and CCRs that you get, right? When you're looking at a property, and deep in those bylaws and covenants are, a little blurb about ChristmasTown USA.
I'm gonna ask you. Hold on. Hey, real quick, Eddie EX28. Met him in Germany at Oktoberfest with little Evan. So thanks, Eddie, for joining. Thanks, brother.
Hey there.
And then Nicole Caveras, realtor, she's watching too. So,
What's up, man?
anyways, I was like, yeah, I met him in Germany. That's what's up. Okay, sorry. So, ChristmasTown USA. Didn't mean to interrupt. My bad.
So deep in the bylaws, it says that um, one road in the neighborhood and the town is required to decorate, just one, and that is Wesleyan, and that's the main thoroughfare that takes you through town. And they strongly encourage you to decorate with red, green, and white lights. You are required per that document to decorate. Everybody else is not required. And if somebody doesn't tell you you live in Christmastown, it could be a bit of a shock because you really kind of have to plan around it for 26 days because roads are closed and it's hard to have visitors. So if you're having family come in, they got to be here before dark, 100%. Or you go out and go get them and have them follow you. You have to go to a gas station, down in Belmont. That's what I do. And I have them meet me and then I have them follow me in. So
Wow.
it could be, if you don't know, it could be you're a little confused and you need a map and you need some help and maybe some drawings.
When did McCannville become like Christmastown USA? Do you have any idea when they kind of started doing this?
So I think it was in the 50s, I think. And it was, don't hold me to these exact numbers. I am just a resident selling some real estate, not a So I think it started in the 50s-ish. There used to be a mill here that has been since sold. It was called Far Yarns. And they had a men's club, and the owners were very involved in the community and used to do a lot for the people that lived here in the community because they all worked at the mill. So the men's club would decorate a couple trees, and then it just slowly grew.
When you say men's club, is it talking about with poles and that kind of men's club, or
Charitable,
Hey, I had to ask. I don't know.
oh, it might be inquiring for something a little bit more frisky. Very, very, very Hallmark family friendly, if you will. And so, and then I guess in the 80s, I think in 89 is what I read this week, that the CBC, one of the big top morning shows, came to McCannville, and that's kind of what put it on the map.
Oh, wow.
And they did a whole thing about how there's 300 evergreen trees that get lit up every year, and at that time there was probably, I don't know, 15 or 20 around a huge, around a lake, and they're we're big and it's pretty and blah blah blah. And so since then it's really been that kind of put it on the map. So it's been the top 10 non free, I guess, Christmas light displays in the country, at least since I've been here in 2018.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
So we'll get around we'll get 600,000 visitors for 26
Wow.
days. And, you know, the town is like 1.4 square miles. Like, it's very like tiny town.
That's small.
Yeah. So we normally only have like 900 residents. So it really, you feel that. You feel those people. And we love it. And, you know, I feel like this year, everybody in the town and in the community and in the neighborhood really got like on board and like stepped up their Christmas game. Like, I know we actually hired a company to put lights on our house. We're not going to talk about what that cost, but it's all in the spirit of Christmas, right?
Right, right.
My husband. So, so we got a question. Let's see. So do you find your market kind of sucks for buying and selling this time of year, or does this event help promote? As far as buying or selling directly in McCannville, I think that's what you mean. I think that it helps. I
You would
do.
think, yeah, if somebody's like got the crazy Christmas spirit and cheer and they're, gung ho, I could that would be a sell for some
I
people for sure.
tell you this, and I like thought this the other night. You know, on a random like Tuesday or Wednesday night, to live here and be able to like you know, we have Austin, he's 18 months. We like every night we've been taking him out in the stroller and he loves it. Like it's really magical. and,
Aw.
and I think that there's something to that. Like there's something to be able to walk out your front door, right, and see this display of lights that you can just stroll down. And I think it's really special, and it's obviously really unique. And I think that I feel like it's a selling point when I am marketing homes, or I'm telling buyers about McCannville, North Carolina. There is very few times people are turned off by it. So I use it as a selling point. I think it's a pro.
I mean, I love the Hallmark Christmas, but I don't know about the tourism and traffic. But again, I have personnel never visited. Maybe this year. Well, you gotta go, Nicole. You
That's
gotta
right.
go, Nicole. Yep. Come check it out. Holler at
Let's
Ashley. Let her
hear.
know you're coming.
Yeah, that's
You guys
right.
can chit chat.
I'll
She's
know
a
about.
she's a realtor up in Cabarrus County, so she needs to
Nice.
frequent down to McCaddenville over there.
Yeah, I think it's in recent years it has gotten really cool too, because there's more businesses here. Like we have a few great bars, restaurants where you can grab drinks, and like there's this huge deck that overlooks the pond, and like games for your kids to play and places to run around and sidewalks. I think it's just getting better and it's easier to come visit. I do think it is overwhelming. I could see if someone comes to visit here, they're like, the traffic is miserable. I never want to live here. If you have that perspective of it, I would feel the same way. But living in it, you're not fighting that traffic every day.
Right.
We get passes, so we're allowed to come in through closed roads that are resident only. So
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
That
that's
helps.
yeah. So but if you're coming to visit, you are most likely going to be in traffic. I do recommend coming like a Wednesday or Tuesday, or maybe even a Monday. Like I would probably come around like 8:30
Okay.
one of those days if
It's
it works.
because is it when the traffic's kind of died down a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this past week, those were like the best days I witnessed. If I was coming in as an outsider, it is only going to get busier though as we get closer to
Right.
Christmas. The weekends, it's kind of chaotic. I mean, you just got to it's Christmas and you just kind of like grin it and bear it, just say a prayer. Hope for a Christmas miracle.
Right.
What
What?
time do things start to shut down? So in Christmastown, in McCannville, the lights go off on a timer at 10 p.m. every night. So all all the town lights on the big trees and everything will go off promptly at 10 p.m. on a timer. It doesn't matter if you're in traffic. Some of the lights in the neighborhood will stay on later. Like we have ours on a timer that'll go off at 11. But 10 p.m., it's 5:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. And I feel like at 5:30, like not only are you dealing with like regular traffic at 5:30,
right? Yeah.
there's people that are trying to get into town early, the lights turn on and blah blah blah, and so it could be a little bit of a lot right then. But I feel like it like dies down like as it gets a little bit later.
Good to know.
And I definitely think you should park and walk.
Oh, because a lot of people are driving. I think I've done it a couple times over the last 5 or so years, 5-10 years, and man, it's a lot. There's a lot of traffic going in and out of McAdenville, and slow. Yeah. Anyways, but you are hearing this from the mayor of McAdenville right here, Ashley Hanna. She's the real estate mayor of McAdenville.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
Yeah, that title.
Legit, you own McAdenville. If it ain't getting, it's got your name on it if it's getting sold or bought. That's for sure.
I love it here, and I love like my neighbors and everything, and I think it's a great place to live. So
Cool.
not like want to do business in a place that you love. I mean, I feel like I'm an expert here, and I can't say that about a lot of places. So,
well, that's awesome. So when we put this on YouTube, that's going to be the thumbnail. ChristmasTown USA.
oh yeah, we'll
Yep.
get some hits.
Nice, love it. Well, where can they reach you, Ashley?
So you can find me here on Instagram at Ashley Hannah Murphy. I hang out here all the time. My stories, feed posts, whatever. I have lots of tips as well in my Instagram on navigating ChristmasTown USA. So be sure to check those out. And Angelo, where can people find you?
CLTMortgageguy, pretty much on every platform that's popular. So yep, that's me. That's me. But we will probably. I mean, it's the 7th. In 2 weeks, it's probably gonna be. Do you want to do one more before Christmas?
I think
Let's do it. All right, cool. 2 weeks from now, we'll do another one. We'll get an update on ChristmasTown USA, see how it is, and then we'll go from there. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Thanks,
Bye.
Bye-bye.